Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dingle. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show. Presented in collaboration.
And welcome to Business Talk today. Today we have a very special program. It gives me a great privilege to introduce one of my students. With us today from the internship class, he's been serving his internship here with Pat and Mike and has been working with the Business Talk programs this entire semester. It's Cavante Black. Cavante is a senior here at the University of Rio Grande, also a student athlete here at the University of Rio Grande. So I want to take a few minutes before we actually get into the heart of our show, which you are taking the reins and you are going to be the host of the show, replacing Pat today. I would like for you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you come from, why you chose Rio, what you're doing here, and what degree you're going to be receiving here in about a month, right?
Well, like you said, Jason, my name is Cavante Black. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Come from a home of two younger brothers, and what made me come to Rio was pretty much the environment and, of course, sports. Being able to play basketball, I've been playing it all my life, so it just took me many different places, and it actually brought me here. And the reason why it was an easier choice than the others is because when I came here for my visit, it made everyone pretty much welcomed me in with open arms. Made me feel like I was more at home. Made me feel like I never left home, really, to be honest. And that's the type of environment that I would like to be in if I had to go far away from home. Because if it make you feel like you're at home, you pretty much never left. So that's one of the reasons why. That was one of the main reasons why I made the choice that I made. Is that when I came here, I did meet some great people, and I have had great experiences while I've been here for my 2 years. But that's pretty much the main reason why I came. And
well, Nashville's a little bit different than Rio Grande.
Yes, it is.
So was that a culture shock when you showed up for the first time?
Yes, actually, to be honest, yeah, because I had a lot of people say that I had pretty much an accent.
No.
Which I never thought I had an accent, but as I talk to individuals like as my friends or my teammates that I've made here, they always say that I have an accent, that I talk funny, saying that I talk very country, but I've been trying my best not to talk so country because I know it comes out of me sometimes when I don't even notice it. But I think that's probably the biggest adjustment is just learning how not to use my accent as much so people can actually understand what I'm saying.
So tell us a little bit about why you chose business.
The reason why I chose business mainly because my mom went into the field, and she graduated from Tennessee State University, which is a school close to home, which is in Nashville. And she graduated from there, and just going to work with her and just being at her job kind of was a pretty much a great thing for me because it made me feel like it was something that I wanted to do. Like just being able to help her with what she does, which she's a budget analyst, to let you know. She's a budget analyst and she does a lot with files and paperwork and pretty much making sure all the numbers are right and stuff like that. And I have actually a thing for math. I actually like math as long as as long as it's the basic math. Like I can do some of the challenging maths, but most of them is kind of challenging to me. But I've always had a heart for math for some reason. Like when I was in middle school, I was in a pre-algebra class. That's how I knew that I had a thing for math. Was that I was in a pre-algebra class for like 4 weeks, and during them 4 weeks, I would pretty much be more ahead than most of my other students or most of my other classmates because I would be able to learn it quicker than they would. And so in them 4 weeks, my teacher actually moved me out of that class and put me out of one class, not knowing if I would succeed or not. But I actually ended up being in the top 5 in my class when she moved me up. So I felt like learning that I knew that I had a little bit of thing for math, and that pretty much that it was my number one.
Well, that's fantastic. And today, you get to try your hand at communications. So let me introduce our guest today. Coming to us from Farm Credit Services of Mid-America, we have, and there's my eyes working on me, Cara Lawson. And Cara comes to us from Mount Orab, where she is a financial service officer there at the office. Cara, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And now I'd like to do the same thing I just did with Cavante. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, Please tell us about yourself and the services of Farm Credit Service.
Sure, yes. Well, as you said, my name's Cara Lawson. I'm a financial services officer for Farm Credit Mid-America. We have 93 offices in 4 different states, and we have several right here in Ohio. So there is probably a farm credit office near you or wherever you're tuning in from. I have been a financial services officer for about 2 years and worked in agriculture long before that, so have a background in agriculture and just always happy to talk to people who have questions about loans, home loans, constructions, farm loans, operating loans, loans for equipment. We do a little bit of everything to make rural Ohio a better place to live, a little bit easier on farmers and rural people.
Now, are the services of Farm Credit, are they limited to just farmers?
Nope, definitely not. You don't have to have any kind of specific farm income to work with Farm Credit. Really the only stipulation that we have is if we're financing real estate or something, the property needs to be outside of city limits, or it needs to be in a town smaller than 2,500 people. So what we can do is really quite extensive. We can take a look at just about anything.
Very interesting. Cavante, I'm going to hand the reins to you and let you take your first shot at being an anchor.
Well, I read a little bit about the young and beginning farmers on your paper that you sent me, and I was wondering, is that the certain range? Is there like a certain range that age range that y'all look for, that y'all go after, or do y'all go after any age?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So our Young and Beginning Farmers program was put together because we identified a need and saw that it was kind of hard for younger people to get started in farming. So it works a couple of different ways. So we consider a young farmer 35 years and under, but within that program we can also do things for what we call new and emerging markets. So if someone happens to be older than 35, they still may qualify for the program if they're getting into something new and unique, something that's kind of untraditional per se. But we definitely recognize the challenges with farming, and the Young and Beginning Farmers program was something that we put together to provide educational opportunities and also just help people get a leg up into farming.
Now, how far down does that age go? Does that go down to those young individuals who are in 4-H and FFA that need that extra money to borrow to take that animal to the fair?
Well, we can only make loans to adults, but we definitely support 4-H and FFA. A lot of our staff members are former 4-H members and FFA members. They're also quite involved as advisors to 4-H clubs, and financially we support those organizations every year in terms of providing funds to fix up their camps or awards. We really place a high emphasis on supporting the youth in agriculture as well. So while they may not be old enough to come in for a loan just yet, we hope that we're providing them positive experiences in their youth in agriculture, so that as they grow and decide what they want to do in the industry, we'll be there to support them then as well.
Very good.
That's very good. And as far as, I also read a little bit more about how it was founded 100 years ago, the Community Engagement Program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. We are coming up on our 100th anniversary, which is a really exciting time for us. To make it as a company for 100 years is something we're all really proud of. And Farm Credit was founded to make rural communities stronger and to help farmers and rural communities succeed and just have better marketability and things like that. So We just try to get involved in the community as best we can. We strongly believe in rural living, in rural communities, and recognize that the rural life presents unique challenges to when it comes to financing especially. So we're happy to make communities stronger.
Okay. And as far as I saw that y'all have a mission to, like you said, keep the rural economy strong and pretty much advocate agriculture. Do you feel that y'all have succeeded in that so far? As far as for the 100 years, have y'all made improvement on that, or do you think y'all just been steady in the same spot for the past years? I just wanted to ask on that.
No, that's a great question. Well, at Farm Credit Mid-America, we take careful consideration to monitor the markets and recognize change within the industry. We're a very flexible company, and we're always on the lookout for ways to make things easier for our customers. So the Young and Beginning Farmers program is one of those areas that we saw a need for something a little bit untraditional, something unique to make things a little bit easier. So when we see these trends, we like to align our products and services with them. We talk with our customers regularly to get feedback on ideas that they have for making the community stronger, and if there are certain challenges that they're facing, we want to know about that so that we can, if possible, adjust our loan products a little bit differently to make things a little bit easier on them.
So pretty much you make sure that you're able to help them to the point where they won't have to struggle as long as they have you by their side, pretty much.
That's exactly what we want to do. So we have very close relationships with our customers. We like to keep in touch with them, frequently. We stop out to the farms to visit, see how things are going with planting and harvesting. So as loan officers, we really enjoy getting out to the farms and to the sites to check in with our customers. And we encourage very open dialogue between our office staff and the farmers and the customers, just so if there is an issue that arises, which ultimately that's going to happen, we want to be prepared to help you through those situations in those hard times.
Okay.
You have a lot more services than just loans, is that correct?
We are a lender, and we don't have any deposit accounts, but we do loans on a variety of things. We do loans on homes, construction, farm loans, of course, equipment loans, operating loans, and things like that. But yeah, we really, we are cooperative, so those who are our customers are also members of our owners in our company. So the cooperative structure is set up as such that everyone has a stake in Farm Credit. But yeah, we don't do a lot of what the typical banks do. So when it comes to purchasing a home on more than just a couple of acres or needing some funds to buy a tractor, that's where we come in and we can really help out with those kind of requests.
But do you also have the insurance side, the crop insurance and animal security insurance?
We do have crop insurance, yeah, definitely. So we have crop insurance agents throughout the state running out to assess risk and make sure that farmers are covered in the event of a catastrophe, yes.
As far as I wanted to talk a little bit about the locations. So say if I move to Tennessee, but I ask for your help, is there an area or a place that I can go to in Nashville, Tennessee, or will I have to travel to be able to get to Farm Credit?
Actually, we have an office really close to Nashville. So we have about 93 offices in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. So we try to be in the communities where we're needed and be conveniently accessible. So if you have a need when you move back to Nashville for something, I can definitely get you in touch with a colleague down there because we've got an office very close to there.
Okay. That's good to know. I might need to
definitely
talk to you about that.
Yeah, I'll give you my card.
But as far as the headquarters, maybe I know it's in Louisville, Kentucky. So when y'all have meetings, do you do like pretty much the head boss from location here? Do we have to go there to be able to attend those meetings, or do you know about that? Or?
Nope. So our headquarters are in Louisville, Kentucky, and we have field staff throughout our 4 states. So in Louisville, we have our CEO, we have our underwriters, we have our credit analyst. But if you have a need or a question, there's an office locally that can help you with that. We're very accessible. We have very convenient hours, and if conventional hours don't work for you, we're all happy to meet with customers at a time that's good for them. So we get a lot of feedback locally and just hold regional meetings or even meetings within a few counties. So we've got our awesome team in Louisville to back up our loan decisions, and we just pretty much hit the ground running here in our 4 states.
So when y'all make a loan decision, do y'all have to wait in a certain amount of time before you can tell the customer if they're actually able to be accepted for the loan or not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a decision that can kind of vary depending on things. It can be, as short as a day or even a few hours up to a few days if the loan requires deeper analysis. Okay. We take a very close look at various credit factors so that we can deliver consistent credit decisions to our customers. So we look at, of course, your credit history, and character and management is very important to us, knowing that you're of sound character and that you are a good manager with your finances and farm. So it can take anywhere from just a couple of hours up to a few days depending. And if it takes a few days, that's not necessarily that it's, a bad applicant or whatever. It's just kind of the way our system is set up that some things get pulled at randomly for deeper analysis.
Okay. Yeah. We've already mentioned that you're kind of a different type of loan institution. Are your loans subsidized by the government, or do you have low interest loans or anything like that?
Our loans are not subsidized by the government, and the interest rates are really just going to vary. We are very flexible. We have a ton of different loan products and options depending on what the customer's goals and needs are. So, to even quote, I can't even really begin to do that, but because we're so flexible and every situation's kind of unique, we've got varying terms and products to fit everyone's unique situation.
And your loans stay in-house, or do you sell them out?
Yeah, we keep all of our loans in-house. So if you get a loan down in Nashville, that office will be your point of contact for the life of the loan. So, we're very much a community resource and want to have those relationships with our customers. So
that's encouraging. You're going to be there with them for the life of their loan.
That's right, definitely.
Good customer service.
Yes.
Definitely encouraging. As far as a little bit back to feedback on what you said, like say, for instance, a customer comes in with a certain credit score, and do y'all work with them, or do they automatically get denied at that time, and then they have to come back later to?
You're asking industry secrets here. No, I'm happy to elaborate on that a little bit. And again, I'm just going to go back to this every situation is unique. The credit score is, of course, very important. It's very important to monitor your credit, make sure that you're managing your finances well and keeping track of all of your expenses and income. But again, it's not the only factor we look at. Like I said before, character and management is very important to us, as well as just, if you had history with us, we take that into consideration as well. So it's certainly not something that we're gonna, throw in the shredder.
Well, and not talking about policy of Farm Credit Bureau, but tell our listening audience, because some people out there, they don't realize the importance of their credit score. What is a good credit score?
I think a good credit score is probably 650 or higher. Typically with that kind of credit score, that doesn't really indicate that there has been any recent derogatory credit. So, credit scores can be up to 800, they can be as low as 300. So 650 is a pretty good range to shoot for, or even in the 700s is even better. So your credit score is calculated based on your credit history. So if you get like a card for Macy's or a credit card to put your fuel on, you buy a house, buy a car, all of those loans that you take out will feed into your credit report. So lenders like myself use that because it's a good mark of repayment history and just kind of seeing how it essentially shows the management of your debt.
Okay. As far as the benefits go, I would like to talk about a little bit about the benefits. I know y'all a little bit different than regular credit, farm credit, so I just want to talk a little bit about that and just elaborate a little bit on us about the benefits that y'all give to customers pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, we try to be as accessible as we can, and we're happy to meet you on your farm, in your house, at a convenient location. You're not required to come to our offices by any means. So we just try to be very accessible to customers. We understand that everybody's schedules are varying and different. So like I said, we're just willing to be as flexible as we can when it comes to that. We also are very supportive of the community, and not to say that other businesses aren't, of course, but we really put a lot of emphasis on getting involved with the local youth programs that we talked about a little bit earlier. We like to go to county fairs every year to watch our customers' kids show their animals, and that kind of thing. So I think the main benefits of working with Farm Credit are that number one, we're accessible and flexible. So I have my customers welcome to text me or call anytime. We're just we want to be a convenient lender. We want to get answers for you quickly, and we'll keep your loan in-house. So it's not one of the things you're going to have to worry about not knowing who to call if you have a question about your payment.
So let's carry that forward a little bit more, because actually, as a customer, now they're owner through the cooperative. So are there specific benefits through ownership being in the cooperative?
Yeah, it just kind of depends. Every now and then, customers may earn a kickback on profits. That isn't something that is a given. It's not something that's a certainty, but it is a possibility. Additionally, once you're a member in Farm Credit, it's a lot easier to look at multiple loan requests because we're building that relationship with you. So we get to know you, get to know your story, get to know about your goals, and take it from there, and we try to grow with you.
Do you have voting rights for the future and for yearly meetings?
We do have a board of directors that sets the vision for our company, and our members vote on our board of directors.
So you might be able to get involved in that yearly meeting. I'm sure they have a nice big cookout and all those good things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind being able to get involved in that. But I went to your website not too long ago, maybe like 4 days ago, and I see that you also help unemployed individuals be able to find out if y'all are applying for, or if y'all have openings for jobs inside your company. How does that work exactly?
Well, we have a variety of job openings at any given time. Our offices are in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. So currently we have almost 1,200 employees. We're a very steady growing company. And if you are interested in employment opportunities with Farm Credit, just visit e-farmcredit.com. And you can find a variety of listings there, from loan officers like me to credit analysis to internships. And those are all over, based in all of our 4 states. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity when it comes to being employed with a great company. And Farm Credit's a great place to work.
Inside the company, are like individuals able to transfer from Indiana to maybe your one of your locations in Ohio, or how does that work? Do they have to?
Yeah, there are always those kind of opportunities for growth. Farm Credit, as a cooperative, is very it puts a big emphasis on education and continual growth. So there are a lot of training opportunities, and you can basically, as an employee, choose your own path and choose your own journey. So if you're willing to put the time into extra training and learning new things, then there are certainly endless opportunities for career growth.
Okay. And do y'all do mandatory training for when a individual first receive the job?
Yeah, that's a really great question. We do training. Each employee receives a training plan, so it just kind of depends on your level of experience, but all of our employees are fully trained and up to speed with the latest in credit analysis, and we keep on top of all emerging issues, and just make it an effort to be aware of any kind of changes and opportunities for advancement.
So you're an employee. Are you also a customer? Do you have your own farm?
I don't have my own farm yet. I would like to in the future. I grew up on a farm in Ripley, Ohio, which is west of here, little ways. But growing up on a farm gave me a real appreciation for the hardships that farmers face and also the joys that they can experience as well. So while I don't have my own farm yet, it is in my long-term plan to get a little piece of land and get some animals and things, but my parents still live on their farm, and that's always a pleasure to visit. And plus, my customers are farmers, so I get to visit with them, and I do not lack for seeing farms just about every day, which is great.
You don't miss the 5 o'clock in the morning feedings and the going out to check the barn at midnight.
My parents are easy on me, but we never had to get up quite that early, fortunately. I did grow up on a tobacco farm, so those mornings could come a little bit early for certain aspects of working with that crop. But yeah, I mean, growing up on a farm definitely influenced my career path and my education. So I just have a real appreciation for what farmers do and the opportunities available in agriculture. Even if you're not a farmer, there's still opportunity.
Well, Cara, we only have a couple minutes left. It's been a very informative interview, but what I'd like to do now is to kind of open it up for anything that you might want to share with us that we didn't cover in the last half hour.
Okay, sure. Well, I think we covered the bases. I would just encourage anyone, farmer or not, if you have questions about rural lending, check out our website, e-farmcredit.com, or you probably know of a local office close to you as well. So here locally we have offices in Lucasville, Gallipolis, and I think we might even have more in the future to be even more accessible. So just give us a call. We'd be happy to talk with you and like to learn about your goals for the future.
Well, Cara, I certainly do thank you for that long drive.
Yes.
A little over 2 hours to get to us, so thank you very much for joining us today. And,
thank you.
And it's been a very informative meeting. Cavante, congratulations, young man. You've done a fine job on your very first interview. Excellent interviewing skills, and I'm sure you'll do fine in the future. So, from the University Studios, I'm Jason.
I'm Cavante.
I'm Cara.
Thank you for listening.